Happy Monday. We are talking about leaving your child out of your adult breakup trauma drama. I don't care if it's somebody you've been dating a month, 2 months, 3 months, or if it's someone you've been living with for several years, or someone you're married to. When your adult relationship ends, of course your child is going to know they're there, but do not share the details with a child. Leave a child out of the adult trauma drama. If it's somebody you're dating and you haven't been dating too terribly long, that's a lot easier. All you have to do is say it didn't work out. They're a nice person, especially if your child has bonded with that person. Say they're a nice person, it just didn't work out. Don't go into the whys and wherefores of why you were breaking up. The kids don't need to know that. No reason for them to know. Don't speak poorly about this other person around the child. Let it go. The child doesn't need to hear it. If it is someone that you have been living with for quite some time, if it is someone you're married to, if it's the child's parent, if you have a commingled family, this has to be handled very delicately and with great guidance and wisdom. And here's why. How many people do you know? You may be one that your parents broke up when you were a child. How did that affect you? Hearing derogatory things about the other parent, about their family, about who they're dating. How many times have you heard you're just like so-and-so and not in a positive way? That takes a toll on someone. Don't do it. Plain and simple, don't do it. So here's what I suggest. When you realize this relationship isn't working, the adults, you and your significant other, your spouse, sit down and have a conversation away from the child. Have the child go for a sleepover somewhere. Let them go to the movies, the park, whatever. But I don't want them anywhere. I got hair in my mouth. I don't want them anywhere near the conversation. Decide how you're going to co-parent. Decide no matter what, you are a united front because you are both the parents of that child. If you have a commingled family, this is your second marriage or whatever, you're not going to speak poorly about each other around the kids, ever. If you're still going to be involved with each other's children, which it could happen, everybody, the kids go to the same school, you're going to be respectful and kind to each other around the kids. There's no reason to draw the kids in to your trauma drama. Don't do it. So you decide you're married, you're splitting up, there's kids. Parent-teacher conferences, both go. Show a united front that is supportive and nurturing to your child. I don't care that you can't stand each other, that you think each other are the scum of the earth. I don't give a rat's ass. Around your child, you guys are best friends. You are a united front. When it comes time to tell your child that you're splitting up, here's what I suggest. Depending on the age of the child, of course. Say, you know how you have your best friend so-and-so, and you guys get along great, but after you're around each other a little while, for too long, you start squabbling and fighting, and then it's not fun anymore, and it gets kind of ugly. Kids will understand that. That's how we are. We are to the point. We want to always be best friends, but we can't be around each other all the time anymore. So-and-so is getting a place of their own, close by. Hopefully it will be close by. And here's how it's going to go. But if you explain it like that you're still going to be best friends, you just can't live in the same house, the child will understand that. The child will not blame themselves because kids are egocentric. They're going to think, what did I do to cause this? It has nothing to do with them. And you just reassured them it had nothing to do with them. Okay? Don't make it more complicated than it is. Don't draw them into the nasty details. They don't need to know. Parents decide they're splitting up, how you're going to co-parent, how are you going to handle holidays, birthdays. Everybody comes to the birthday party. Absolutely. The other parent comes, If their family wants to come, your family wants to come, great, let's do it. However, anybody that is coming, anyone that is going to be around your child, they have to be kind and respectful. There's no name calling, there's no nasty looks, there's no derogatory comments about you, the other person, or who you're dating. Everybody plays nice or don't come. Very simple. If your child is at grandma and grandpa's or Aunt Mary's or whoever's, they cannot speak derogatory about you, the other parent, or who you're dating. Off limits. They're not dragging your child into the trauma drama. Protect your child. Your child is the epicenter. That's what's important. They're your child forever. Protect your child emotionally, physically, mentally, and sexually. Don't let anybody ever take advantage of your child in any way, shape, or form. And always be a united front. If you separate and the child is at the other parents for the weekend or for the week, however you do your separation, and the child gets hurt or gets sick, it happens. It could happen on your watch, it could happen on their watch. Kids get hurt, they get sick. When you get that phone call, do not panic. Do not get pissed off. If you have to go to the hospital to meet them there, it happens. Be kind. Check your emotions in the car. Leave ego there. Go in, be kind, nurturing, and supportive to your child. Do not say to the other parent, how the hell could you let this happen? No, that's for another day and another place. Right now, it's thank you for bringing them to the hospital and for calling me. If whoever they're dating is with you, say thank you for helping. Be kind, be respectful, because that's the message you're teaching your child. Be kind and respectful in the face of conflict. I know, I'm asking a lot from you, but you can do this because the child is what's important. Your ego isn't. Their ego isn't. Set it aside. Parent-teacher conferences, you're both there. Absolutely. United front. Baseball games, basketball games, volleyball games, you're both there. Absolutely. United front. If you're seeing someone and they come, ground rules. You cannot say anything negative or disrespectful about me, my ex, or my child. No dirty looks, no dirty comments, no snark, nothing. Because my child is my child forever. You're transient. You may be in my life a week, a month, 6 weeks, whatever, but my child is my child forever. Know your priorities, know your boundaries. If you honor these guidelines, your child will be so healthier than being toxic and mean and nasty. These are still from the age of, in this type of situation, when you're talking about breakups, from age 0 to like 13, those are building block years. And when you're dealing with a breakup, you're showing that child, you and the other parent and the families are showing them, this is how we deal with major conflict, emotional conflict, disruption of our lives. And we handle it with grace, respect, dignity, without being mean and nasty and snarky and hurtful. That's showing your child, is giving them the tools moving forward into adulthood, adolescence, and then adulthood, of course. When I am faced with major conflict, I am respectful, I am kind. I listen to what other people are saying. I don't overreact, I don't get hostile, I don't get violent. Those are major tools to give a child to carry through to the rest of their life. As opposed to families who are name-calling, throwing things, getting violent, going to jail, all the toxic things. You don't have to choose that. I don't care what your family did when they split up. You can break the pattern. You can make the change. You can handle it with dignity, honor, grace, and respect, and that's what I'm asking you to do. Figure out ahead of time visitation. Sit down, the two adults, sit down and discuss. I'm going to have them this week. If they live close within the same school district and your schedules permit, you can have custody one week, they can have them the next. I know a lot of families that do that and they do it smoothly. If the child's in piano, they both have a piano so the kid can practice at both places. That's great. Figure out who's taking them to baseball practice and who's picking them up. Who's going to have them when school's out? Figure it all out ahead of time. Have it written down. If you have disagreements, have them away from the child. And I want you, when you're talking to the other parent, check the emotions. I want you to hear what they're saying, not react to what they're saying. I want you to hear what they are saying, okay? If they're saying, but you're not being fair because I want them on my birthday, say, I understand you want them on your birthday. However, maybe they're in school that day. But you can have them that evening. You can have them that weekend. Compromise. Listen to what they're saying without getting emotional. Do not react to what they're saying. Listen to what they're saying and be willing to compromise. Check your ego. Never tell a child that so-and-so, your ex, whoever, male, female, whatever, is not paying child support. Don't drag the child into that trauma drama. If you have, if money is tight, understandable, talk to the parent away from the child. Tell them, we have these expenses and you need to come, you need to pony up for this, but not around the child. And never, under any circumstance, say to this child, you're just like your mother, father, aunt, grandparent, whatever, in a derogatory fashion. Don't do that. Because that child knows that they're made up of that person's, DNA. They may think the world of that person. And you're saying something hurtful about them. So you're saying something hurtful about the child. They may know this person is a scary person that we don't like and you're saying I'm like them. That cuts your child to the quick. Don't do that. Don't hurt your child intentionally. Don't be abusive. That's emotional abuse. Don't do it. If your child has parents, grandparents that are absolutely brilliant people, they are great in English or history or math or science, whatever, and your child gets a great score on a test, it is wonderful to say, oh my gosh, you did so good. You're smart just like so-and-so. That's wonderful. That's nurturing that relationship, fostering that relationship, and building your child's self-confidence. That's wonderful, but don't be negative and derogatory. Don't do that. You don't realize the power your words have on your child. Words can be more dangerous than physical objects, because those scars from words will stay there forever. Physical wounds will heal, bones will mend, skin will scar. Wounds from words will be there forever. I remember hurtful things said to me when I was 3 and 4 years old that I will never forget. And I'm sure you're the same way. You remember things that were said that were hurtful. Don't do that to your child. It's about the child. It's not about your ego. Figure out your parenting plan before you talk to the attorneys. Take responsibility. Take accountability. This is your child. You want the best for your child. Figure out how much it's going to cost for, books at school, for school uniforms, school programs, athletics, things like that. Get a general idea and be willing to pay your part. Figure it out. If you lose your job, first person you should call is not your attorney. It should be that other parent and say, this is what happened. Don't worry, I'm on it. And then, of course, you have to call your attorneys. But handle this like adults. Don't be petty and disrespectful. The child is your child forever. Treat them like the precious gift that they are.